Hey, folks, welcome to Market Intraday Analysis by InTheMoneyStocks.com, your leaders in pure technical analysis, avoiding all that Wall Street hype. Today, Thursday, March 1st, 2012, and of course, this video is sponsored by Realtic. All right, let's get right into the mix today. Markets are down ticking a little bit, but this is off the highs of the day. Again, light volume is back. Yesterday, we had some decent volume in the markets as the markets rolled over pretty substantially for what we're used to in 2012. But again, today, a little bit of a gap up. Notice how early in the day we opened right on the 20 moving average, got above the 20 and the 50 moving averages right here on the first candle, and then since then, you hammered on the moving averages over and over again, never closing back below. And one of the key factors here to understand is the market or a stock will take the path of least resistance if it cannot break through after a certain amount of time. And in this situation, there's a perfect example. You can see again, one candle hits the 50, bounces. Then you get a big flush through, it bounces. That's 2. Another one, 3. And then skips 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And after that many attempts to try to get through the 20 and the 50 moving average on a closing basis, the markets all of a sudden say, listen, I can't force my way down. Essentially, the bears say, I give up. The bulls take over and run the market higher. And again, it wasn't a big move up by any stretch. It's just a float higher. But nonetheless, it goes right to the red trend line. Little double top from early in the morning. This red trend line's a major level. And then you get one more pop. And now we've seen a little bit of a selling. But it's on very, very light volume here, guys, as the market comes back into the 20 moving average and the red trend line. This is a lot of support here. You can actually already see a little bounce starting here. But nonetheless, good support on the intraday SPY chart 10-minute here. All right. Now, looking at the charts, what's leading the market today? Because the markets are up. The Dow's up 30 points. NASDAQ's up about 25. S&P's up about 8. And obviously, the NASDAQ is up the most percentage-wise, 0.8%. And this is a basic result of a few key technology stocks having good days. Microsoft is number one. Microsoft is having a tremendous day here today. You can see up 59 cents or about just under 2% gain on the day. And again, Microsoft is a major component of the Qs, the NASDAQ 100, and the S&P and so forth, so it's obviously having a good impact on those indexes. Other stocks that are higher today, Apple up $1.35, although that's not a big gain. Google's up about $6 and change. I talked about Google to you guys in the last few free videos discussing how eventually on the daily chart it looks like this chart is going to head towards gap fill right here. When it achieves gap fill, this is going to be your shorting area. And again, for me personally, I'm going to just stay back and wait. And if Google hits that level, that's where I trigger my short and take that position. And again, just a reminder, folks, for those of you that want to get involved, you want to get involved in the Research Center here at In the Money Stocks or the Intraday Stock Chat, which again, Research Center is geared towards swing traders. Intraday Stock Chat, obviously, more for day traders. Come here to InTheMoneyStocks.com and take the 7-day free trial. I repeat, 7-day free trial. All right, going back to the charts. Again, Google, Microsoft, key leaders today. IBM's having a good day, up a little bit over $1. Very nice move there. But again, another sector that is leading the charge today is the banking sector. Goldman Sachs is up over $5. If we take a look at this chart, I mean, this chart has been the leader of the day, although, again, you can see a little bit of weakness but down into the support level of the 20 moving average. But again, look at that vertical nature of that chart, and all the financials are essentially doing this. We heard some news that essentially the banks got together and decided not to declare Greece in default, which obviously, it's not really the banks per se, but a group of based off the credit default swaps, and they decided to not declare it, which was essentially saving the banks from having major losses, and that's why these things are taking off today. It's a little bit of a shady situation, believe it or not, because it's like you have a body that's made up of banks, and then the banks are voting to not declare Greece into bankruptcy, essentially, which in turn makes them not have losses right now. Now, they're just delaying the inevitable, but in the short term anyways, it was a positive for the banking sector. But it's the banking sector voting for what's not going to cause losses for them. Obviously, they're going to do that, right? So again, it's just the shady nature of things, how it's done out there. But bottom line is JP Morgan's also having a big day. JPM up over $1 today. Very nice gain there. Morgan Stanley, fantastic move up about 60 cents. But even Morgan Stanley's coming in very nicely now. But again, right to the 20 moving average. You have to respect that 20 MA as it is going to be support. And again, if we go back to the SPY, let's take a look here. See that pit of the red trend line pierce of the 20, and again, it's getting a little bit of a bounce on the SPY, which mirrors the S&P 500. I expect the markets to remain higher today. If we were to sell off and go negative today, it would be very significant in my book. I do not expect that to happen. Volume is 95 million on the SPY. It's essentially non-existent as we're nearing the 2:30 p.m. time frame. Only an hour and a half left in the day. Yesterday, as I said, volume was very good at about 175 plus million. Today, we'll be lucky if we do 125 million on the day. All right, what else do we have going on? One of the key swing trades here at In the Money Stocks performing unbelievably well. We took our second half off the table. SCEI is the trade here. This is a little Chinese stock. I gave it out as a hidden gem in December at $1.10. Today it hit at $2.28. Essentially, I unloaded my second half today for an 86% gain. And again, if you're a member here, you're making these types of returns. And the beauty of what we do here, folks, and I want to just explain this. I don't care if the market's going up or down. If I find a master level based on our proprietary calculations, I give it to you as members inside the research center if you're swing traders, or in the chat room if it's a day trade. But the bottom line is, here you have SCEI. Markets are still going up, but it's getting a little choppy up here. But again, nailing the long side here for 86% gain. But now look at another stock that I shorted yesterday, MasterCard. MasterCard I shorted at $427.75. And I am up $7 on this trade from yesterday's short level. Again, I shorted it up here because it was a master level, and look at it stall out and pull back yesterday, and basically pausing today. All right, another stock out there, Caterpillar. Caterpillar shorted this at 116 and change, and it's now in the 113 levels. And again, notice how at inthemoneystocks.com, we're going to be on the right side of the trade, assuming we do our proprietary calculations, which, by the way, we will teach you a bunch of this stuff, how to do it on your own. But we're going to be on the right side of the trade no matter if it's a long or short. I don't care what the market's doing. Obviously, I prefer on my shorts to have the market going down and on my longs to be going up, but it doesn't matter. You'll still get the gains out of it because they're master levels. No one else is doing this out there, folks. No one else knows how to do this. I don't care if you're a hedge fund, an institution, which, by the way, institutions bully the market with massive amounts of money and volatility and high-frequency trading. That's how they make their money, all right? And that's essentially cheating in my game. You know, we do it naturally here, and you can do it just as well and make more money percentage-wise than they can. But bottom line is that's how they do it. Hedge fund managers are lucky to be on the right side based on a bet that they make on a large bet, like Paulson back in 2007, 2008. And again, you just have to know how to do it. And inthemoneystocks.com, hear it there. We're going to teach you these proprietary methods. It's very, very simple. And again, proof is in the pudding. Caterpillar is my short. MA is my short. I'm in the money on those. SCEI was a long, made 86% on that second half right there. All right. Earlier in the week, LEDS was another one. I gave it out at $3.39. It hit a high today of $4.35, but my target was $4.25, and that hit a couple days ago. That's basically a 25-30% gain on LEDS. All right, again, if you know the charts, if you read them correctly, the profits are there to be taken. All right, let's go over a couple other charts just to give you guys a little bit of a sense of what else is going on. The dollar today is basically flat. Amazing support levels on the dollar down here. Notice these blue lines I'm erasing now, but you had that right down there. Major support. You got the huge bounce yesterday, and today's essentially a pause down the dollar. Now, I think you're starting bullish consolidation, which is going to result early next week in another big move up in the dollar. This big move up should send the markets a little bit on the south side, but again, we have a key level and a key date coming up, which we will reveal to our members only when it arrives. And that membership will enable you to make massive amounts of profits based on positioning yourself on the correct side of the market for the next move. All right, again, all this is achieved by just joining the 7-day free trial here at InTheMoneyStocks.com. This is the time to join it if you're going to join, because things are going to be happening here over the next couple weeks, and to be involved now is to make massive money. All right. Let me just see if there's anything else I want to touch on. Gold today, after a huge drop, is getting a big bounce. Monster bounce on the GLD. SLV, same thing. Good bounce up 91 cents. And the USO is just continuing to rally up. I talked about a pullback off this gap window. It's eventually going to go higher through gap window to gap fill, which is around the 43 and a quarter level. All right, on that note, folks, again, Dow is right underneath or right around the 13,000 level. NASDAQ is right below the 3,000 level. And again, this is going to be interesting to see where we close this market today. And again, we're going to have to use the confirmation signal based on this tomorrow to see if we confirm. That's going to be another big indicator. Have a great afternoon. Got to get back to trading, folks. Take care. Come join us here at InTheMoneyStocks.com.